say crop top.
Real fast, 5 times. Hey guys, welcome to IG Live, and special time today because we are still filming and shooting and everything for Fall 23 Market, which is next week. And next week we're actually going to get to show you our runway show from Fall, which is like, what did we call it? It's a faux show.
A faux show?
Faux show.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Right? FAUX. But what we did is, some of you might have seen on live over Saturday, which seems now 100 years ago, but we did shoot it from a few different studios. It'll be interesting and cool, and you'll see it next week. So we look forward to showing it to you. But we're going to have a quick chat right now about spring.
Yep.
Because it's kind of feeling like spring. It's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, I just don't know what season we're in right
I know,
now.
I'm very confused. And that bitch Tracy totally just ran me out there to look at
To like a resort, winter 24.
Exactly.
Cool.
So anyways, but moving along. So we want to talk to you guys specifically about laying the groundwork for how you think about purchasing for the next spring season. And we've had a lot of questions about, which items are like a trend and which is a classic.
Totally.
Are you wearing a trend or a classic?
Right.
Am I? And it's kind of like what, I think the bottom line is first, one man's trend is another man's classic.
Yeah, I think that's what we've established.
That is a for sure thing. But I had given a quote this morning in my stories, and I know that I'm seeming very intellectual, quoting, late 19th century French philosophers, because I'm sure Henri, I'm not going to even try and pronounce his last name, but I'm sure we would have been hanging out at Cafe Fleur. He's like, no, this was not about like a double-waisted denim skirt. I was talking about
exactly what he was thinking when he wrote that.
He was 1908. That's where he was. His head was. But the point was, what he was saying is that the purpose of something is not necessarily intrinsic or extrinsic, but it's malleable. It will change with time. And that is kind of how we look at clothing, and which makes this whole conversation about whether or not something is a trend or a classic a little difficult to get our arms around such pedestrian, kind of very almost shallow, but understandably the way it's always been talked about, right? I mean, you came from magazines and how many articles did you have to pull for that were like trend, classic?
Oh yeah. I mean, like literally comparing price points, comparing, different marketplaces. I mean, everything was really like runway, our way.
And that was the whole training on the thinking of it. And so what I liked about how, we're on a first name basis, Henri had,
oh wow, that went real fast.
had laid that out, was that it just really made me think about the malleableness of things and that ability to pivot and to move along with something because it has satisfied so many demands for you that it's something that will be with you for a very long time. Kind of like what a good friend should be as well. So that is how we view clothing. That when it hits on all those needs, those things that we talk about, PDW, play, dinner, work, 12 mower, the thing is when you buy them, you may know exactly, if you get the double-waisted denim skirt, you might know exactly next week how you want to wear it. And maybe you're thinking about like what your look is that spring. But the point is if this skirt is something that definitely hits all those marks for you and it feels like it is so you, then you don't need to figure out what you're going to be in it in January of next year or what this skirt's going to do for you in 3 years. But you can feel really good knowing that this skirt will be with you in that time. So when we talk about trends, then we talk about it more, and this is how we design into it, more in terms of how do we want these things that have so much value to us, how do we want them to be malleable in this time right now, in this spring?
Right.
What will give us those goosebumps again when we put it on? Because I'm still wearing the hell out of like the Stella nylons, and you're new with us, and you're like, order it up, like get that. So it really is about what are the things that are going to jolt us, so that if you've got those old friends or if you're buying new friends, what are the things right now that feel especially now, present day, trend wise? What's your favorite trend in that respect, in that definition?
I think that my favorite trend, which honestly feels like kind of like a signature Tibi, at least where we are right now, is that like long and lean silhouette. I'm wearing the soft drape shirt from spring, and I wore it in the other colorway 2 weeks ago. I've ordered it in both colors.
And you're wearing a size.
This is a size 4.
Right.
So it actually.
You did order the smaller one.
No, I ordered the 4. I changed
But they took it away. Oh, you did?
Yeah, but they don't have any available because everyone else wanted it.
Sorry.
Well, sorry to me.
She gets last dibs. You guys get first dibs.
But like even like this, I'm like very comfortable. And
how tall are you?
I'm 5 feet.
Yeah.
So I mean, this again with like like the fluid alley pant feels very long and lean, and that might be on trend for a lot of other brands out there.
Yeah.
But this is kind of the narrative that we've been pushing for the past at least 2 seasons, and we're definitely still with it for fall 22, which is very top of mind.
Yeah, it's so. Okay, so if you guys will look at Sarah, so when we talk about this long and lean, and the name of this is something like fluid jersey, or
soft drape, fluid
something. It's fabulous. It's on the site. But what you'll see is, so Sarah is wearing the size 4, but she is not a 4. You're 00, right? So, but you can see that even in this 4, it's still draping on the body. So I can wear this and fit in it just fine.
Totally.
Someone like Stella is a full size bigger than me for sure, through the bust and everything, and she can wear it, and it's actually still going to have the same drape effect.
Totally.
So this kind of long, languish look feels really fresh and new.
Totally. It feels really fresh and new, but like again, for Tibi, I think it's a conversation that we've been having, and for my own personal style, this is very much in line with where I am, where I see my style continuing to go. I always wear tops like these.
Yeah, and this is not a top that ever will die.
Yeah.
For
me, it's a classic.
Yeah, it's only like the only way it would ever leave you is if someone stole
took it. Right.
Okay.
Glad we're in agreement.
Jinx. Okay. So for me, another trend is a little bit of sparkle, and I got a really interesting, very long. Thank you for this. But I mean, I enjoyed it. But I got an interesting DM from one of our customers in Saigon, and it was super long. But what she was telling me is, for her, like on the Tibi evolutionary stage, she's been buying Tibi now for about 1.5 years, and she really has invested so heavily in her woofs. And so she was saying that for spring now, she feels so settled and calm in her wardrobe that now she's ready to bring in the dresses, bring in things that have like this little something that it's kind of like, okay, I don't do drugs, but I'm just trying to think of, Matt's like, what? Where's this going? But no, but let me just say, I know, it's such a nice company. Thank you guys. But this is the only analogy I can think of, that if you did a drug for a while, if woofs are your drugs.
Where is this going?
Crop tops are my drug.
No, I'm saying that like at some point you become a little immune to it. So every now and then I get these shots of you guys sending me pictures, and you're like, I feel great, but like now I'm like wanting another hit or needing more. Again, like I've only seen this in movies, but I think that the idea is that when you know your style so well, of course, like you're going to be tired sometimes of wearing something, not because the trend has moved on, but because you've worn it so much, you've gotten so much functionality out of it. And that's never a reason to retire something, but then I can understand you are like slightly, like you need something to make you pulse again, right? So this makes you pulse, right? Like this is where if I am wearing the black Stella nylon joggers and just a t-shirt, all of a sudden when I put this on, the whole thing like feels new.
Right,
and
you're
different.
just, maybe you've been wearing like the Black Godfrey for
Yeah.
a full year, and you're like, okay, I need something new, I need something, some instant gratification, and that is the
This
shoe.
does it.
The
So
smart shoe.
I think too, one of the things that Tracy, not our design Tracy, but Tracy from Vietnam, what she had said too was like, now that she's bought all these woofs, she's gonna really dive in and get some dresses
Mhm.
for the first time. So this is something where like, if your woof has been this big navy blazer, then for me, this is where now for an event, I'm gonna put on this sparkly dress. So I'm still feeling very comfortable in myself, but now I've got this dress on with it. So,
Totally. And I think that's really key, is like being comfortable and knowing your personal style. If
Yeah.
you don't know who you are, but style-wise, then the trends versus classic, this idea that, your classic is another person's trend, won't resonate with you.
right.
Because you haven't gotten to that point, which is okay. Like, not everyone is going to be at the same pace.
Well, and you might have someone too who, like, we all know that person that's got on like that wedge shoe, that little white skinny jean, and maybe that super tight blazer, and that is their look that they own.
Right.
So for that person, this is a trend.
Totally.
It will come, it will go. That person, I would recommend only buy one. I'm not trying to convert them to
Mhm.
this. This is a trend for them. But having that sparkle thing is really that like extra, that really good extra right now. And why I was particularly excited to get that letter from Tracy though was because I think that what I'm finding now is for a lot of you, especially those of you who've been with us for a while watching these segments, is we're in the same headspace. Because the Tracy, my head of design, and then Hannah, when we were designing spring, that was our headspace.
Totally.
We had our closet full of woofs. We had really stripped the company after COVID and
Right.
gone back to like, what are the core basics? So we were craving then that next level.
Right.
of
I think
newness.
everyone is just craving newness, color.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone is kind of feeling very stagnant
Yeah.
at that point, and so, I feel like you guys always design for like what you want to be wearing versus like what the trend forecasters say, or
No, can you imagine? Like looking at a trend report?
I think Matt wanted to be a trend forecaster.
Well,
didn't
the
you say?
trend reports really fuck with you because there's not a big line of division between how you guys, the customer, thinks
Mhm.
versus the design team.
Totally.
So if you as a customer, if you're like, oh my God, it's millennial pink right now, and then you go off on those rails, you're gonna all of a sudden not feel like yourself if millennial pink is not your thing. And
Right.
for me as a owner of a brand, that would be like a death spiral for us. I mean, it would be very confusing
Couldn't even
on
imagine.
so many levels. I'm gonna go try on the
Cool.
that green jumpsuit
Okay.
for people.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. And here, if you want to show the difference, some people were
Oh,
asking
yeah.
about the difference with the gray and how you would wear it.
Cool. So this is the sand jean with the double-waisted hemline that Amy is wearing the skirt version of, and these come also in the classic blue wash, which Amy is wearing, and that skirt comes in the gray. I think this has more of like blue-purple undertones, but I really think that you can keep the classic wash and think of the gray in a similar way. They both serve that, they both serve the same purpose to ground any of your looks. And I think, if you are a loyal Sand Jean customer, then you're going to really love this style. And like Amy was saying, for some people, the double waistband is a trend. It's something that, we're seeing everywhere. We're seeing on the runways at Margiela. But for someone who really likes this carpenter pant style and is comfortable in it, this isn't going to feel so different. But the double waistband is that something that Amy was saying that you're looking for, a little extra something, a little oomph that your closet and wardrobe need. I mean, I'm literally wearing I mean, I could be wearing these right now if they were my size, and I would be. I also think what's interesting is the belt loops. We really love belts.
Oh, and you know what? We could talk too about who
has these.
Who has it.
I like the idea of belting not the typical top waistband, but the bottom one. So I think there's a lot of ways to make this jean work for your personal style, and also like, be more experimental.
Totally.
And lean a little bit more creative. Although these are definitely hit right in the middle of the CP, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that is absolutely the sweet spot where it is so freaking modern and cool, but I mean, it's so wearable. Like, it really, really is. And I'll show you. I'm going to actually post some pictures later on of how you can take that jean and you can wear it really long, but then it's easy to fold up and wear it.
As someone who's small,
You're just
I
owning
fold up
that.
all of my pants. Matt's laughing.
Those pants are your height.
Matt, will you come out here for a
Matt,
minute?
wow, so we get like a height comparison.
Wait, I don't have my glasses on. I don't want to.
Hi, Matt Small.
Aww.
Well, I mean, yeah, literally these pants are as big as me.
Yes.
But in my size, they would fit.
Okay, so I'm going to post a list of, because there's a lot of great places, but like IT in China,
Totally.
Rue Nave Water, 1423 Nave Water in Korea has them. Like, we've got a lot of great different places, Hampton, McMullen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to be able to buy this from a lot of our good friends. And especially, I want you to know all the places where you can buy it locally too, because some of you may want to go and try it on and see how you feel in it as well. So this is the mechanic suit.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we call it? Boiler suit?
It's
Chic boiler guy.
chic boiler in a
Yeah.
Carson green is the colorway.
So we did it in this green, and then did we do this only in the green? Or?
We did it in the navy, and it's kind of like a sand color.
Yeah. So I'm wearing the green. I'm really into the green right now, guys. It's got a little bit of a touch of blue in it, as you can see, which I like because forest green always just pisses me off. It makes me sad. So I think this is a really good green. So you can see, guys, I am 5'5", and guys, at 122 pounds. I'm wearing the size 4. This sits low on the waist, but you can
Uncinch it.
you can. Well, I'm not really cinched, am I?
No, you just have it buttoned.
Yeah. So it sits low on the waist, and then it hits the top of my toes. But what's great about this is you can also, actually, can you hand me the green one? So what you can do too is you can roll it up and give yourself a big cuff. But what I want to show you, there's one thing that annoys me, and so I'll show you how I'm going to fix that. So if I were to roll this up and wear it shorter with the sandal, this cuff and this cuff annoys me. I don't have a rule for why.
It's like bookends. I don't
Bookends, yeah. Bookend, which are good if you have books, but
right.
if you don't.
But in this scenario,
yeah.
No.
So what I'm going to do is when I roll it up, I'm going to just unroll it here. And then I'm going to show you then just with what you can do is if you're wearing it, obviously then with just a slide, then, okay, right? So you can kind of dress it up with a little slide action and wear it shorter. Or the other option is to keep it longer, and then you don't actually have to do a full-on rubber band trick with this. You can go like this, and then you can use the straps to wrap around the bottom of your pant.
It's like, 2 for the price of 1 with this shoe, really.
So a lot of you guys have asked me, when will the trend die for like ankle straps and ties? And as long as I love a long pant, I think that the trend for ankle straps is going to be around for a really long time because it serves as function of being able to tie up your pants.
Exactly.
And here's a fun fact, and I'm going to call the shit I make up facts, even though it's a fun thing that I just realized I made up. But one of the reasons why ankle ties have now been around for such a long time is in the past, as a designer, when you design something with an ankle tie, the stores would literally have a fuck fit. They were like, we can't show that. You're going to walk into the shoe department. It's going to look like that. It's going to be a mess. And they would actually make decisions not to buy things because of how it was going to merchandise on the floor. So even though it might have been the world's most fabulous shoe, you know, Neiman Marcus or someone was like, no, we can't figure out how to tie that on the floor. It's a shit show. Now, with the world being so heavily in the e-commerce sector, people have figured this stuff out. Personally, for me, I never understood why they couldn't have done this, but maybe they don't teach you that in design school, whatever. And that too. But anyway, so that is why this trend has come along, and it's been here for a while, and it's unlikely to go anywhere as long as the internet is around.
And that's fact.
And that's a fact. That's a freaking like hardcore Amy fact. So here, you these colors look really, really pretty together, and then I don't have it in here with me, but we also have that turquoise color.
Yeah, it comes
that is really pretty with that.
Yeah, it comes in turquoise, brown, that green.
And these are coming soon, guys. If you get a chance, press the notify me when available in any of the shoes that you're interested in. And what's going to happen as a result of that is when you do that, then when the shoes come in, you are going to get an email alert that says that the shoes have come. So when you're going through every morning, you have 75 emails and you're just going delete, make sure not to delete that one, because then you're going to be like all pissed, and then you're not going to have this. Then I'm going to like have to answer your DMs, but and that's okay. I still will. But this, if any of you have had the Reed sandal, any of the sandals from the past, this is the same last. So you will know your size if you've had any of these flat sandals. Same size as the past. One thing we're going to do a tutorial on later on as well is what a sloper is for you. I mean, this is just a master class right now. I mean, you're learning about...
You're literally getting everything in such a short period of time.
Henri, the French philosopher. I mean, come on. One other thing that we're going to talk about, though, in a live when we don't have a skew of models out there waiting for us, is we're going to talk about slopers. And so just like a last is actually the footbed of the shoe that we build upon. And for any company, when you've had a really successful shoe, you keep the same last so that you can do it over and over again. Like, actually, sorry, if any of you guys bought like the Byron the Byron sandal that was like the puffy one with the straps, this one is on the Byron last, so you'll know what size you wear. But in clothing, what we do is we work with something called a sloper. So when a pant or a bottom or a top or a jacket has a great fit, you actually create a sloper. It's made of wood, and it is what every pattern maker, it's what they start with if we're using that sloper style for that item. So for instance, this one started with the Sam Jean sloper. And so what we'll do is we will kind of take you through the different pant bodies for spring and tell you what sloper we use for each, so that you can be like, oh, you know what, I have the Elfie pant, so this pant from spring is going to fit, and blah, blah, blah. Because, what we really, really want to work on is trying to find ways to reduce the churn, the in and out of shipping. I mean, no one likes returns. I don't like them.
Totally.
You don't like them. And I know that it's a pain in the ass for any of you guys as well. So the more that we can eliminate returns, the better. The more information we give you to not make you crazy, but to help you make good decisions, the better. And the more you utilize the stylist team, the better. So if you check my stories, and in the information here, we'll give you all the names of the stylists so that you can really reach out to them. The stylists are a size of ranges as well. So kind of look at Hayes, look at Darianne, look at Laura, look at all of them, and see like maybe even if any of them match your body type, you can call Darianne or DM her at any time and be like, try on this pair of pants for me and let me know how you feel. Because looking at a pair of pants is one thing, and then knowing if it's going to give you a wedgie
I mean,
or
I've been
not.
saying that all day about like looking at things on the racks and then seeing them on a form like human is just, it changes everything.
I know, so listen, I'm grateful. We actually, the stylists do have a fairly broad range of sizing within them. I wish I could put out ads that are like, I need a stylist who's, this measurement bust, but apparently it's inappropriate. So I'm not going to do that. But I think we've got a good team there that can really help you guys. And then Patrick is like the excitement miracle worker.
If you're like in a bad mood or you're just not feeling it, honestly, just DM Patrick.
Yeah, just have him start writing you every morning.
Positive affirmations and styling. It's just like the energy you need. It's like Monday morning coffee and you're getting some fashion tips.
Wow.
Feels like a win.
So, guys, coming up soon, you'll get the full dive into spring. It is still coming in.
Yes.
Slowly but surely.
Yes. So
disruptions are real.
Yeah, we're facing all of these delays just like everyone else.
Yeah. Sucks. But we're going to get back to shooting fall. We're going to show that to you next week, but only for a hot minute so that you guys don't lose focus and that we don't lose focus either.
Right.
And then we'll really start diving into spring. I cannot wait to start really wearing it. Okay. And are there any weird questions, Matt?
Just know, summer is going to be crop top summer. I'm calling it now.
Okay, that is absolute fake. That is fake news.
It's fake news also because you're like, no. Guys, fake news here. You will see Matt, though, this week in the delayering videos. We're going to even get Sarah to do one of them. Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll give you lots of good stuff in the follow-up. And I can't wait for you guys to see fall next week. I hope that you love it, and if you don't, you will love it when it comes out, I promise.
We promise.
We'll get you there. Okay, bye, guys. All right. Yeah.